everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. This is Madden 18 on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Patriots going up against the Saints. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the New England Patriots. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Now Brady. And he finds Danny Amendola. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down. Last year, New Orleans dead last, number 32 in passing defense. Something that was exploited game after game. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Haoli Kikaha in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Brady to throw on second down. He's going to air it out deep for Amendola. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
On first down, Brady. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Now let's give you a look here at the New England offense.
We all know it takes excellent players in order to have a great team in the NFL. But in New England, there's a system and there's a belief on how they do things on offense. And for them, the word is balance. And that is hard to do in today's NFL. They don't lean on the run or lean on the pass week in and week out. They just game plan for where they think the defense is going to be weak and tune that up for each and every game.
And this is caught at the 8. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Red zone opportunity. From the gun, it's Brady. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Brandon Cooks scoring a touchdown against his former mates. And the Pats have taken the early lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
His numbers are big time, but what really impresses me about Drew Brees, his consistency. 37 touchdown passes in 2016. His 9th consecutive season with 30 or more touchdown passes. That's an NFL record. And he moved past Dan Marino last year into 3rd place on the NFL's all-time passing yardage list.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. A first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
Quarterback Drew Brees and head coach Sean Payton understand the passing game as well as anyone in the NFL, which led to a rating last year of #1 in passing and #1 in total overall offense. But the thing that they really do well is get the ball downfield. They understand holes in defenses, find receivers that way. But what they need to add, the running game, back to their mix. When they went to the Super Bowl and won it, they were #6 in the NFL. Last season, #16.
Brees finding Snead there for a same 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Awfully nice to see Adrian Peterson back and running well. Rushing title, got hurt in 2016, and that season became a bit of a wash.
Yeah, it did become. Hoping to get back to that old form that you're alluding to, though. He does have 3 rushing titles, including that one you mentioned in 2015. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. From the gun on 3rd down, Brees. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. A good effort there from distance, but he might have needed a little more help from the air conditioning behind him on that one.
It probably would have helped. This is awfully close to getting there. It was right on target, but it winds up being just a little bit short. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. It's caught left side by Cooks. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Brandon Cooks with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly for 6. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Following the penalty, it's Peterson. Room here to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
They go play action here on first down. He'll let it fly in the direction again. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Second down following the incompletion. Here's Breeze. He sets to fire deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a first down. Saints were the best team in the NFL on third down last year. 49% conversion rate. Helps when you have Drew Brees back there.
It certainly does, because he is just so analytical in everything he does. Goes through every progression on every snap in practice, so not much surprises him on game day.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Peterson gets the handoff from Breeze. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Again, Peterson. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
On second down, Peterson. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They run the counter now. It's Peterson. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. Shotgun now for Breeze. He finds Coleman. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Ted Ginn, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. A reminder, coming up tonight, Green Bay visits Atlanta. All sorts of storylines there. A playoff rematch, also the opening of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And then on Monday night, the Giants host the Lions.
So the Giants play on Sunday night and Monday night to open the season.
Yeah, 2 under the lights. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets a made. Instead of the running back in New England, sometimes they like to call them the passing backs. They get them the ball in different ways, don't they?
They certainly do. Think about the ones they've had in recent vintage. You talk about Kevin Falk, Danny Woodhead, Shane Vereen, James White could have been the MVP in the Super Bowl if it wasn't for a certain quarterback that was on the field that day.
Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Brady going to throw. He finds an opening past the 40. On the slant, he gets it to Gronkowski. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 13 yards there offset some of the penalty yardage as it's second down. Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They try again with Lewis. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. A reminder that coming up at halftime, we'll join Larry Ridley in Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. So we look forward to that.
And I'm looking forward to some air conditioning.
I bet you are. Brady to Gronkowski, cover athlete to cover athlete for a Patriot first down.
He was a cover guy for Madden in 2016, but I don't think Gronk saw that as being his highlight for the year. What did he have, 25 catches for the season? Only 8 games went down for good right before Thanksgiving. You know he wants to be back with a vengeance in 2017.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Again, they'll throw with Brady. And he's got it. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Again, it's Brady. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. Brady now to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure. Yeah,
they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision.
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. To throw on second down. Oh, the pressure too great, And he goes down once more. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. 3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Breeze hands to Ingram. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now the 9th-year man from LSU, Thomas Morstead, on to punt. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Patriots take over. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
He gets it to Cooks. The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Brady now on 1st down. The throw left side complete to Hogan. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. Last year, Hogan tied for the NFL lead at 17.9 yards per catch. Didn't quite get that many there, but still a nice hookup.
And I don't want to overplay as a cross background, but it does bear some mentioning here. Those rushes that they make towards the goal, I think that equates into some of his pass patterns, too.
Here's Brady. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line. 23 yards on the play. And that extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range.
So put 3 on the board, but from inside the 5. And I know we use this phrase a lot, but that's a big-time win for the defense.
It sure is. You've got the short field behind you, so you can afford to turn up the pressure. And that was a nice sequence there to keep him out of the end zone.
So at halftime, it's the Patriots with the advantage. As we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA
Now, you folks don't know what you're missing. Missing Larry Ridley. Ready to get back, though, to this Week 2 matchup. Let's get to it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
This is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On second down, here's Breeze. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 15. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Shoves him aside. Over the middle, it's Amendola. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Patriots pick up the first down. Brady to Amendola. Brady now on first down. He hits Gronkowski on the out route. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. A good pickup there at 22. Ah, yes, Brady to Gronk. You think these two are in sync?
Without a doubt. And look, they both understand what they can do for each other. Gronk knows if he gets open, the ball's going to be there. And Tom Brady knows what a great security blanket Gronk is. When all else fails, you find Big 87. But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
Well, that's the second time they've gotten to Brady, and you've got to do it a variety of ways. You want your regular pressure. Sometimes you have to bring extra. But in this case, they got to him, and that just doesn't happen very often.
It's a rarity. He's just such a veteran. His pocket presence so good. But, hey, tip of the cap to the D. Tough spot for the Pats now after the sack as Brady will lead him up 3rd and long. To throw, it's Brady. Hard throw, incomplete. So on 4th down, Brady will yield to Gronkowski for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will swell the lead to 16. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Brought in left side by Snead. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Throwing on first down is Breeze. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Out of the backfield, Adrian Peterson was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
And Lutz's kick is good. And that will cut the lead down to 13. So a miss on his first attempt, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
I know this will surprise you a little bit, Brandon, but you know kickers can be a fragile breed sometimes. You got to wonder what's going through his mind, but he didn't let that first miss impact him one bit.
Hey, I kicked back at Harrison High School. Are you calling my ilk soft? Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Throwing on first down is Brady. Dumps it off to Lewis. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now he's flushed out right. He's letting it fly for and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Throwing now is Breeze. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be second down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On second down, here's Brady. And that's complete to Cooks. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Brady. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Trey Hendrickson in there to bring him down, and it'll be a play to remember for that young man. The first sack of his NFL career. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Here's Brady to throw. Forced out to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Brady now on 3rd and goal. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Craig Robertson with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone can go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
Now Brees throwing on 2nd down. Caught right side, it's Snead. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now Brees throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw, it's Brees. And Josh Hill has it. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Brees going to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. On 1st and 10, here's Brees. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Brees now on 1st down. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, oh, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before, getting his feet down. Would you say dotting the I? I can cross the T as well. That was excellent footwork to get in bounds and make a great catch.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Again, it's Breeze. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
Down in this one, they needed that score, but they'll have to hold at least for the time being.
You're exactly right. Points that they had to have. As you said, they have to regroup now and see if they can get them another way.
A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. Now Breeze got to have this one. And it is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Patriots are close to finishing off this football game. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You have to take the shot if they did score. You know, whether you call it a miracle or not, you line up, onside kick, get the ball back, throw one more in the end zone, who knows? Had to take the chance, it just was unsuccessful.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Again, it's Lewis. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. And the Saints signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. New England on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first down as he's up to his 17-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Brady gives this one to Lewis. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding. Offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide.
Oh, and Lewis lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Pats, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. Till next time, we say so long from the Bayou.